Welcome. This is Ria Talk for real people, where we're always keeping it real about real life. And here's your host, Maria.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ria Talk for real people. Let's talk.
So what are we getting into? What are we getting into tonight?
It's January. So we're going to talk about 2022. We want to get a vision. We want to get a view for this year and going forward. 22, you need a new view.
Okay, so what's your new view for 2022? Since you like to rhyme.
Well, I really do. I don't know if that's the Black in me or just personal to me as a human being, but it's something about the rhyme that I like. I like it. And I feel it. You know, when I hear a rhyme, someone's talking and they make it rhyme, it appeals to me and it stays with me. So I like to do that same thing for if I have any opportunity to make it rhyme, it's right on time. So anyway, having to have said that, we cannot talk about 2022. I like to say, you know, when you think about when I thought about 2022, I was thinking sometimes, you know, when you think of having 2020 vision and you can have 2022 vision, you know, when you look at the 22, I think of glasses, being able to see, you know, having a vision. Many times, you know, we've gone around to 20. We started the COVID pandemic, some call it pandemic, in 2020, and look like we lost something. And now we can't see. We can't see our way out of COVID. We can't see our way out of what is happening in our life as a result of COVID. You know what's happening with many of us, if not most of us, because of COVID or as a result? People are lonely. People are feeling despair. Some people even feel suicidal. They're feeling depressed. They're feeling hopeless. But I want people to know there is hope. And the hope comes with God. No storm lasts forever. No problem lasts forever. Nothing is permanent, not even your troubles. So, having to have that said that, I want people to get a vision for 2022. And you had a vision for your life before COVID, and now you've gotten discouraged, you're in despair. We're in despair because we don't know what the future holds. We don't know about the future. We thought that when 2022 came, 2021 came, that we were going to be about out of COVID by now. But then we came up with the Omicron virus. You know, not only did we have Delta, we had the Omicron, and people like, we thought that everything was opening up, and now is this ever going to go away? Well, I've heard some authorities say we may have to live what they call a new normal with COVID and the various viruses that come, the new virus like Delta, Omicron, we may get Bomicron, Bob Moo, C-Hat, Dang, ABCD virus. We already had the Delta, so we may have Z virus, Zcron. I don't know. I was just trying to make light of it by saying the ABCs of the COVID virus. But as I was saying, we don't know the future, but we know who holds the future. Those of us who are believers in God, we know God holds our future, and we don't have to despair. We don't have to despair because in all things, they work together for our good because we love God. Even though many people, I had planned, and I'm going to now, this is a good segue to talk about 2021 in review. We lost many people as a nation. I heard it say here where we live in Los Angeles that the COVID virus, over 1 million people in California have contracted the COVID virus. And initially I got alarmed. Then I remembered who I am and whose I am. I am God's child. Like I say, no storm lasts forever. And nothing in this life is permanent, not even COVID. So one day COVID will go away. Or we will look at COVID like something like the flu or any other viruses that we have had in the past. But it will move on. It would not be on the news every day. It'd be something either we hear about, just like we hear about the yearly, oh, you got your flu shot? Some will get the flu shot, some won't. Some will get the COVID shot and some won't. But either way, life goes on. Mm-hmm. And I guess I was one of those people, and I get a little choked up when I say this. Having to have lost about 14, give or take, family members, including my dear mother. And I asked God, I said, God, you've taken so many people. You've allowed, I don't feel that God is taking, I feel God has allowed death to come to my family's door and stay a little while. I don't want to get personal about, I do want to get personal. I changed that about 2021. 2021, it was the most devastating year, not 2020, but 2021 was the most devastating year in my life. I still haven't gotten over it, but I'm getting through it. It's a process. Mm-hmm. And that's how I want people to look at what they're going through too. It's okay for you not to be happy all the time. We're still trying to figure out how to maneuver in this COVID environment with businesses opening, businesses closing, school opening, then they go back to virtual learning. At work, they go back to remote, working from home, working remotely. We're never certain how this is happening in the economy. We feel insecure about the future. But again, I say to you, if you are a believer, God holds the future because God is in your past. God is right here, right now in your present, and God is in the future. And we know for sure as believers that all things based on Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of them who love God, who are called according to his purpose. So it's all good. My mom died. My grandma died. My uncle, many uncles. And my husband said to me, uncles and aunts, and he said, the last aunt to die before 2022 came in, I got a call the last week, just barely before Christmas, that my aunt died. And this I asked God, I flew to Georgia and I asked God, I said, God, please, let me have an age of Aquarius to not have family members to die. Please remove death from my family's doorstep, please. And I'm praying this for other people who may be similarly situated. But I am sad, but I'm not without hope. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about, again, now that I visited 2021 and the devastation that has been visited upon my family and I'm not without hope. So I will talk about 2022 and having a vision for my life for 2022. I will go forth in 2022 with hope, with enthusiasm and excitement about my life. I'm doing some things differently. Like you said, you got to get oftentimes, I think God slowed down the world. He slowed us down individually to give us a time to pause and review and see where we are. Remember what matters to you. Why am I here? What do I want to do with my life? Isn't it true that I love spending time with my family? My mom, especially when my mom died, my other family members that died, I was sad, but when my mom died, I have been very thoughtful and reflective about what matters to me. And I know what matters to me most in life is family, friends, and relationships, because we are happier, not by money, not by things, having more money, more houses, more cars. We're happy in life by having good friends, healthy families, healthy family relationships. And when we're in relationship with them, in communication with them, we are happier. So that's what matters. And I think that would be the lesson of COVID, period, is a time to pause and say, what is important to me? What makes me happy? Seeing all these people die, family members, friends, even people that you don't know, you just start to say, life is short. I need to spend my time on things that brings me the most joy in this world, and what makes me happy. That's for work, for play, whatever. So with that, you got to get a vision, and that vision have to support your goals. Since you want to have more time for family, I've decided for 2022, for many years now, I have had my own business. I may have some side hustles, but I want to work for a corporation. I want to get off at 5:00 and not be wearing many hats. I want to have more time for family, more time for friends, and I still need to make some money. So
right.
I don't want to work primarily for myself anymore, wearing all these boss hats. If I'm going to be a boss, I'd rather be a boss with someone else bearing the liability. So people out there that may hear me, if you know of an executive position that would be fitting for Maria, holler at your girl.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
I'm just going to go back for just a little bit because I had asked, and I think maybe you did answer it. What was some of your visions for 2022? So your vision is definitely getting a paid position at a corporation.
Right.
What do you have any other visions? And I really like that you said your visions have to support your goals. I 100% believe that. Because your visions kind of give you, I feel like the visions is the big plan, or the vision is the big plan. That's what you want to go to. And then the goals is getting to that vision, so they all have to work in tandem.
Right. There's a scripture in the Bible. It's in Proverbs 29:18. And it says something like this, and I might be paraphrasing. Usually I love the King James version of the Bible because that's what I grew up on, being a church girl and all. But it says something to this effect: where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth, that's the main part. I'm going to stop right there without going any further. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So you got to get a vision for your life, or you're going to be floundering, especially in this COVID uncertain. COVID has shook. It's doing a shaking of the whole world. making us rethink things. That's why in many jobs, many employers, and you hear it every day, oh, so many job openings. Excuse me. There's so many job openings and people are not working these jobs. And I thought about it a lot. People are rethinking their lives. What's important to me? What's not important to me? And they're really trying to align their work with their vision. This is what I want for my life. And COVID has given them time to think about it, to plan. So they're not working these jobs. And another thing, the employers that can't find employees many times, most, if not, these are low-paying jobs. I don't believe the companies that are paying a living wage or higher, they're not having problems getting employees. It's the restaurant jobs, the minimum wage or below the minimum wage employers. If you know, and it says, oh, we won't be able, if we start paying more, we may go out of business. You charge more for your services or for your product. People will buy it if it's of value to them. But you're not going to get any employees on just $7. The people not going to risk their lives. They don't even want to work. Even they weren't risking their lives for these low wage jobs anymore. They've had time to get side hustles and they make more money on the side hustles than they do working these little jobs that they breaking their backs for just $7.50 an hour. Things like that, $8 an hour, $9 an hour. They've gotten a new vision for their life. They plan things out. So this is great. You have to have a vision, because without a vision, the people perish.
Exactly. I felt there for a minute like we were in church where you said, okay, come on, saints, turn to me, to Romans chapter 2, verse 8.
You know what? I used to feel a little shy about it, that I'm a church girl and that I know the Bible very well. And I quote the Bible. I don't quote the Bible just for fun. That's how I think. You know, some people who are musicians, they think musically.
Right.
I think scripturally. You know,
right.
Like say, got a song you want to hear? I think you got a scripture you want to hear. You know, it's that it just comes to me that way. The scripture, because as I said, I grew up in the church. I've always read my Bible, and now that I'm older, I read it even more, to get understanding, because we know everything in this world is temporary. We must be concerned about eternity, and so having to have said that, we're going to move on and talk about getting a vision again for 2022. You may need some. You remember me talking about glasses? I see glasses as a symbol, a symbolic to that. You may need some assistance with your plan, with your vision. You know, I want to let you in on a secret that I haven't shared, and I'm going to share it with someone else in hope to encourage them. I have hired a coach, a coach, employment coach, to help me find my executive position, to help me see where I'm maybe dropping the ball, or just let me see my blind spots. I need some assistance. She is my glasses. She will assist me with my vision. And I would like to encourage everybody else. If things are not going the way you want them to go, your vision is not clear. I remember I had a dream once, and the scripture came to me. Just scripture. I never remember. I didn't remember that I've ever seen that scripture before. It was Habakkuk 2:2. It says, "Write the vision and make it clear."
Right.
And I thought that was so amazing. I'm sure I've read Habakkuk before, but I didn't recall. I said, Habakkuk said in the Bible. Let me go back. I know it is. So it is very pertinent to what we're talking now. When you got a vision for your life, for your career, for your family, your children are out of control. and you want to bring them back in line because you want to give them hope and a future. If your children have gotten crazy because it's COVID and you've been struggling mentally, so you haven't been there, but you have made up your mind that in 2022, I am going to correct things in my home. I'm starting with me, then I'm with my children. Because if you do not guide your children, somebody's going to guide them. The street,
Absolutely.
or a game, or a look at it. We're January all over TV today. Today is January 6th, and we're talking about the people that invaded the capital
Right.
of DC.
Right.
I'm sure some of those people were wanting to fit into some kind of group. So, but to try to attack democracy, to attack our democratic republic, just to fit in with a certain group is not good. And a lot of those people are going to prison. And their reputation have been ruined. And initially they felt like, how did I get here? I've come so far from, even though you may sympathize with a certain political position, I'm sure many of those people's like, oh my God, I didn't want to carry this far.
Right.
Back again about your children. As parents, as mothers, when you're raising your children, you have to guide them, or they will connect with somebody that will lead them in a way. The scripture says, raise your children in the way you would have them to go. I believe the reason it says raise your children in the way that you want them to go, and when they're older, they won't depart from it. Because as a mother, as a parent, and as a mother, I have 100% total interest in my children's future.
Right.
Everything I do is about them. Everything I do to them, for them, is all about ensuring that they live their best life. So again, in 2022, get your household right. Starting with you first. You get your head right, get yourself right, then you get your children right. Now, you can't get your husband right. You can't get your spouse, because these are adults.
Right.
You can speak to them about what you're going to do, and things in the marriage or in the relationship that you are no longer going to tolerate. You can't tell them what to do. Like my Aunt Dot used to say, I don't know where you're going to go, because you're grown. You go anywhere you want to go.
Right.
But you're going to have to leave my house. You're going to have to get out of here. If I'm having issues with my spouse and I've decided some things are not acceptable, this part of the vision, the family vision, what I would no longer tolerate, I would not tolerate you calling me a B. I would no longer tolerate you. I mean, if I was a woman, my husband doesn't call me this, but I'm just saying, if your husband is calling you B all the time, being negative about you, making you feel lower than the chewing gum or the gum under his shoes, girl, you need to tell him, I don't know where you're going to go, but you're going to have to get the heck out of here, because I'm no longer tolerating. If he's cheating on you, if he has cheated on you and he doesn't want to get counseling, he's not apologizing, he's trying to shut you down. Oh, you talking about that? That's in the past. That's someone trying to gaslight you.
Right.
Girl, listen to me. Bye, boy, bye. That's what you need to say. If he does not want to get counseling and change his behavior, when a person, a man or a woman, cheats on their spouse, and they want to stay in the marriage and not never do that again, they must be open to do whatever it takes to earn that trust that you have broken. Now, I'm moving on past that vision.
I was gonna tell you, you got on a hot streak and it kept on going.
Yeah, but I was just talking about a vision, because these are things back, like it's kind of like I just said earlier. Relationships is what makes us happy. Our husbands, our significant others, our children, our friends. So that is the number one vision. You want to straighten things out. You got a girlfriend who never calls you. When she calls you, she doesn't feel like she wants to be bothered. Bye, girl. Bye. It's over. That means she's been over. She's been over. Move on. Move on. You're not telling her to move on. You move on. Just close the door to that. You got to have a vision for your life. If you want to get this year, 2022, one thing above all, kind of like the golden rule, love the Lord thy God with all our heart, with all our strength. And the second rule is liken unto that, love your neighbor as yourself. You must love yourself enough, get the vision to walk away from things that's not working for you. There's things, people, if it's not building you up, encouraging you, you got to walk away from it. Life is short. You can't keep hoping. Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't keep hoping and praying and waiting, thinking these people are going to change, whether it's at your sister. You can't change who you're related to, but you can change your relationship to them. That means you got to feed them out a long-handled spoon. Get the vision. And if people are not encouraging you, keeping their commitment, keeping their promise, being there for you, bye, girl, bye, boy. Move on.
Right. Well, that was really good and encouraging for the new year. We're going to go ahead and end it on that note. That's it for Ria Talk, where we're always keeping it real about real life. Make sure you leave your comments and your compliments on our Instagram page at Ria Real Talk, and we will see you next week.